It's a pleasure to be on your show, on the Sharmila Showhouse, and I believe people love your show. I mean, your handle, and my people were telling me that she's very popular. So, wishing
Oh
you
my
lots
God.
of love and lots of more admiration from your audience.
Now it's not a good time to enjoy. For a different reason, we are all locked down. We are forced to stay at home, but it has actually given us an ample opportunity to enjoy with our family members. So, how do you enjoy with your family nowadays?
Well, yesterday I wrote a poem which says that these are times which we've never had before, or shayad honge bhi nahi, hopefully not. But these are times where we are actually bonding with family, spending the kind of time where we've always said, "Yeah, time nahi hai yaar." But now we have lots of time to just be together. So at home, me, my brother, my sister-in-law, we cook together, we wash utensils together, we listen to music, lots of playing, watching movies, lots of stuff together, yeah. And
So,
it feels nice that सब एक साथ घर पे हैं. कहाँ ऐसा होता था? So I think there are two ways of looking at it. Either you see the glass half empty or you see it half full. And
yeah.
since it's a necessary lockdown, might as well enjoy being home and cherish the time that you have with your loved ones.
Yes, and it's much like going back to your childhood days when everybody were together, all siblings, and used to enjoy a lot, playing games, indoor games, just like that.
Yes, in fact, I've been playing Ludo. I've been playing hide and seek with my niece and nephew. Jumping around the house becomes a mess, and then I have to clean it up again, realizing that I have to do it all myself. But it's fun going back. I think we're all going back to basics, basic pleasures.
Yes, yeah. And coming back to our interview, I have realized that you are the most bankable heroine in Bollywood so
Oh,
far for last 20, 20 odd years, I think. So it's a great pride, and really, no one can retain this glory, to my mind.
thank you.
So, what was really behind it, and how did you enjoy such a long journey? And it was
I
much like a train journey.
it is, that's true. I think the choices are made because eventually what happens when you are liked by people in a certain role, then the industry likes to just, bind you with an image that she does that role very well. I think what I did was I kind of broke that, and I didn't sign on like 50 movies just because my one role was a hit. In fact, after Veer Zala, I waited for 1 year to sign on Dilli Che because everyone was offering me, those vivacious roles and chirpy roles and everything. So I was like, I can do more, much more. And I think saying these constant no's and trying to rediscover yourself, people got this idea that this woman, whenever she comes on screen, she brings something different. So I think that somewhere became my public perception as well as the perception in the industry. And so I'm glad because I'm experimenting a lot. I'm doing lots of different roles,
Yes,
playing the lead or playing the villain or playing a comedian. I'm enjoying it all.
greatest role in Badlapur. So, any memories?
Well, Badlapur had lots of memories for me. For one, I remember for my introduction scene, I had to drive a car as fast as the train on the parallel track. And so
Okay.
they were not sure if I drive. And I said, yeah, I drive and I drive well. And they said, but ma'am, there's a hitch. This train comes only once in 5 hours. So we need to get the stake right. Abhi isi mein. So you have to match the speed. It was pouring that time. And I just whisked so fast. And later, when I reached, because I was just with the train simultaneous, it gave me such an adrenaline rush. And when I reached the spot, everyone on the set was clapping for me. So for the first time, it was not for the acting skills, but for my action skills. So it was fun. So it was fun. I enjoyed that. I still won't forget that.
Uh, I want to go back to your debut film, which was actually made you an instant heroine. I mean, just just within a couple of days, Divya Dutt become a heroine. And also, I'd like to throw some light on the film Train to Pakistan. I feel that your Punjabi self was revealed in that film. Partition is a reality in Punjab as well because they have survived the pangs of partition.
I think it's a reality for all of us because all our ancestors, somewhere or the other, come from the other side. And so my grandparents also come from the other side, a lot of others. And so, yeah, I remember I was not in this film, but in another film. I was doing a partition. I've done lots of partition films, by the way. And period films. I've done lots of period
Period
films. I've been
film.
lucky.
Yes.
I did Bose in Kolkata, in fact. Subhash Chandra Bose I did in
Yes.
Kolkata. And I played his niece in that,
Yes.
directed by Sham Babu. So, yeah, I was doing the scene, and my child was supposed to be snatched from me. And the police is taking me away from India to Pakistan because I played a Muslim girl. And I was laughing. I was a kid that time, I was very young. And I was just laughing and joking. And my director said, "Hey, just be serious and just use some glycerine." So I said, okay. And I just put the glycerine, and the shot was a long shot taking me from one to the entire village to the truck. Just uh, so when they just took me, I actually started crying, feeling the pain of a mother being away from her child. It started that way, and then they put me in the truck. I knew I'm acting. I knew it's a situation, it's a scene, but I could suddenly feel the pain of partition. How many people lost their children, their families taken away, and we've been lucky we didn't see all that. But what we have to do is learn from it. So. Those experiences I'll never forget, the first ones. And Train to Pakistan for me is very special because I made lots of friends in that. Lots of friends. To date, it's been like about 20 plus years, but it was a great experience doing it. Singing myself, I sang my own songs in that film, and I
Yeah.
choreographed my own dance numbers. It felt really nice. I was actually a child woman and I played one, so that was interesting.
To many extent, people used to say the other day I was talking to Madhur Bhandarkarji. He was
Ji.
saying that Divya is a power packed woman. She can do
Oh,
anything, anywhere, anything.
great. You know,
So,
in a
so
film Heroine, nobody wanted me to play the negative role because they thought I have a sweet face, and they thought, sweet face can't be negative. So
hmm,
Madhu really believed in me, and he said, "Why?" And I said, "It's the attitude; it's not the face." And so, yeah, he believed in me, and I had such a blast with such a change of image doing Heroine. It was like people saw me doing something harsh, something dark, for the first time.
but I remember that role, that pure personality I mean, taking a pledge to make somebody a heroine out of nothing. Also, I could remember your role in Umrao Jan. Umrao Jan was not really successful, but your role was remembered. I want to ask you, what is that magic you always retain in yourself? If you can divulge some secrets.
I think it's the hunger, Shamila. You have the hunger to, um, do something at its best when you're passionate about something. And I didn't have any godfathers. I didn't have anybody saying, "Hey, here's the author-backed role for you, and here's the hero you will work opposite." I had to make my own path. So my mother had told me, "Do these people know you're a good actor?" I said, "No." So she said, "How are you going to prove it?" So she said, "Take on the roles and bring in that X factor to them so they can never ignore you." And I think that became a reality for me. I tried bringing an X factor in my roles. I tried seeing what is that extra thing I can give to my role, which makes it special. That in spite of all the big stars, people do remember me in their films. And gradually, then I got myself a special place in people's heart where they said, "Hey, ye hai to ye film dekhne jayenge." So it feels nice. It's a beautiful journey, and I think they all trusted me with different roles, and I'm so happy that today roles are written for me.
Divya ji, you have written a book about your relationship with your mom, Me and Ma. That's amazing name. It's so
Thank you.
catchy.
Thanks.
So, what was going through your mind when you penned down everything in written words? Because relationship between mother-daughter is not really something to be written in a whole.
I'm different. No. See, for me, my biggest attachment, my biggest love, my biggest fear was to lose my mother. And when that happened, there was a denial. But then I thought, here's a mother who's believed in my dreams. Here's a mother who supported me inconsequential of everything. She's been my biggest pillar. And I don't need to just sit about it. I need to celebrate her. And I think every chapter that I wrote, it wrote how it changed me as a person being her daughter. And so every chapter in my life, be it childhood, be it teenage, be it my big decision to be an actor, and she supported me when everyone was against it. So all that and all my mistakes, all my wrong choices in relationships, she stood by me like how, and without judging me. So I wanted to celebrate a woman who was such a rock in my life, and I'm so happy that so many people read that book and they said, "Hey, ma'am, we read the book and we went and hugged our mom." So it felt nice. It felt nice that people relate to it. They are reconnecting with their mothers. Sometimes I just feel you should make best friends with your moms. You shouldn't feel that ye alag generation hai. It isn't like that. You can just make your parents your best friends as well.
Yeah, yeah. And in a different tone. It's not just saying that my parent is my best friend. It's like exploring. Uh,
Right.
the wanting to know the generation before our older generation. So I think that is the way. And
True.
Divya, I'd also like to know about your second book, which you are writing during this lockdown period.
Second book is also going to be my journey, but my professional journey. And so it's interesting. A lot of people want to know about my journey, and I feel nice when I'm on these live chats. I'm asked such amazing questions. So there's a lot of curiosity, there's a lot of intrigue. So I'm kind of going to answer all that in that one book about my journey in the films, in something that I love doing the most.
Some personalities who have made a mark in your journey. Amitabh Bachchan.
Yes, absolutely. The biggest impact, I would say, because half of the population, or more so, I would say, have become actors thanks to him. He's been such an inspiration that people always wanted. I tore my mother's saris and dupattas and said, I want to dance like him. And I used to dance on his songs and call all my neighborhood kids and say, "Hey, listen, party with me and see how I dance like Amitabh Bachchan." And and then cut to you're actually working with him after a few years. It feels like a dream come true, and he's so inspirational. He's so sensitive. He's just not the superstar that he is or the brilliant actor he is, but a superbly sensitive soul who's truly inspiring. And I'm so glad I got to do 5 films with him, and I'm now waiting. It's been a long gap. I must work with him again.
Acha, next is Salman Khan. Salman
Salman,
Khan.
I think, is the most
Veer
fun
Gathi.
host. Yes, I remember he was very protective of me, very protective. He really took care of me. Something very interesting. I didn't know how to do a death scene, and he was packed up, and he actually sat for me to teach me how to do it. And since he was Salman Khan, I actually was like totally. I was a kid, and I was actually listening to the Salman Khan, and he taught me so many techniques about acting, and very supportive. And I used to get khana from his house, and still, I mean, whenever we meet, this that warmth that he has, and he's the most supportive co-star that you could ever want.
Shah Rukh Khan and Akshay.
Shahrukh is the most charming person, most charming, hands down. Um, I will never forget how amazing he was with me in Veer Zara, and even before that, when we met, charming to the hilt, taking care about how I was doing my lines, and he would, sometimes I was new, I didn't know how to take camera angles and everything, and he just would nudge me and say, "Hey, that." So I was like, "Okay." So it feels nice that when you're a newcomer, when people look over you, feels those people are always very, very special. So Shah Rukh for me will always be someone who's very, very close to my heart. Akshay, I think, is uh, somebody who will never give you one dull moment. He is so full of life. He will always be cracking jokes, doing masti, and just work is such a breeze with him. It just happens and it's pack up, and you're like, "Are, khatam ho gaya." I miss working with him now. I've done 3 films with him. Yeah, I would really love to work with him soon, actually, now that you remind me.
Now I want to listen to your, I think, best moment of your career, winning the national award, the most coveted award for any actor's journey. So, how was that moment, winning a national award for Irada in 2017?
Very special moment. And it's amazing that all the films people thought that I'll get a national award for, and then wo fortunately unfortunately nahi hua. And then I was packing my bags to go for a shoot, and suddenly I'd put on the TV and I started getting calls. So one of my journal friends said, "Hey, congratulations." I said, "For what?" She said, "You just won the national award." It was such a surprise, the phone fell off my hand because one, I didn't even know the national awards were getting announced. Two, I said, "For what?" He's saying for Irada. And I was like, "Are, what a amazing things that you don't expect are give you even more happiness." But what was the most beautiful thing was, Shamila, that more than me, I saw everyone else happier, feeling for me that, hey, I got it. And it felt so nice. Yes, my positioning in the industry changed after that. I think it became a few notches up thanks to it. And I felt very gratified that finally I get the most coveted award. And
And how
really
many
grateful.
phone calls did you get at that point of
Do you
time?
think I'd
I think
count it?
many, uncountable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So, what was the most cherishable phone call you received that time?
Well, I, I don't know. I mean, I cried because I got a call from one of my friends who actually cried on the phone, and it was again a media friend who said, "Listen, I was waiting for this moment for you forever," and it felt so nice that you have people who love you so much and who feel for you so strongly. And I thought the most beautiful thing is to get the award, but also the most beautiful thing is that people love you the way they do. And that also is a very prestigious award, I must say.
Hey guys, this is Sharmila Maiti from Sharmila Showhouse, and please subscribe my channel, click the bell button for more updates.